We're going to learn how to put a cap inside a bottle. First things you're going to need are 2 soda bottles, 3 magnets, some super glue and an X-Acto knife. Now super glue one of those magnets inside one of the caps and color it in to match. Then peel off one of your labels, cut a hole in your bottle and insert that cap in. Rewrap it back up, then glue a magnet back down on a memorable point. Wrap your second label back over your bottle, matching everything up. Now get both magnets to stick to each other. And then glue another magnet inside another cap and you're ready to go. Now show the bottle all the way around and then take the cap off. Now I know my magnet is underneath this QR code, so when I take my other cap and slam it on top of this place like so, it'll stick to that magnet, and then if I do it with just a little bit of force, one will get stuck and the other will drop down. Now to show the bottle, you don't want to flash that cap on the back, you literally just want to turn it straight up like this.
Here I have 7 printed cards on my t-shirt, okay? Now you have to think one of them. Just think.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah.
Look at this. Here I have an envelope.
Yeah.
If I pass the envelope over the printed cards, now one card disappeared. Now there are only 6 cards.
Yeah.
And is your card here?
No.
It's no anymore. No. But wait a minute. They are printed. No, but I have this envelope and your card is not here anymore because travels. Which was your card?
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs is not here. Look at this, because the Jack of clubs now
No.
inside the envelope. And no holes, nothing.
No.
¿Qué co... ¿Qué? ¿Examinable? ¿Qué?
So, Roy, you have to guess where the ring is, on the left hand or the right hand. Okay, so I will show you. Watch. If I put it here, where is it? The left hand or the right hand? Which one?
I think...
You know what? You know what? Before you say, I'll give you my keys, the house keys, so you know I'm not running away. Can you please hold my keys? Close your hand tight. And would you please guess where the ring is? The left or the right?
Oh,
This one?
yeah.
What about now?
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
No, it's already gone from here. Where is it now? The right?
Yeah, right.
It is in the right, but not my right. Not my right.
Where is my ring?
Maybe the right over here. Open the hand, please, slowly.
Whoa! You won't.
See what's going on? I want to show the camera. Right there.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. Really?
There you go. Thank you so much. A beautiful ring. Thank you. Appreciate it. I need to buy a ring. I'll show you the coolest things ever. A ring. Let's see. What's your name? Timothy, you have to guess what hand is it, the left or the right, okay? Before we're doing so, guys, Timothy, right? Yeah. I will give you my keys as a collateral, so you know I'm not running away, okay? So can you hold it, please, tight? Timothy, what hand do you think the ring is? The left hand or the right hand? Which one? The left. Yeah. Could be a good try, but it's not there. Which one now? The right. Yes, but not my right. Bro. Let me see. Guys, it's right there. Can you see it? Thank you guys. Have a great time.
That was so cool.
Rich the magic trick hits me. What? Hit me! Leadership! A star! Star! What do you mean? Star! What? 10 out of 10! Rate the magic trick. That's a 0 out of 10. What? 10 out of 10. Rate the magic trick. If I can get this Kit Kat to appear in real life, would that deserve a follow? Well, yes.
Yo, what is the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Murphy's Magic Stumped. My name, of course, is Bo Creamer. Thank you so much for joining me today, you absolute legends. Now, I know why you're here. You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title of the description. You're here to see Rich Relish and Craig Petty talk about easy tones. So I'm going to stop flapping my gums today about it, but I do want to tell you that today we're going to have 2 giveaways in this episode. The first giveaway will be a little bit later on in this episode. It'll be live on the stream. And then also there'll be a giveaway after this episode for all the latecomers that are still snoozing in bed, that are still hanging out. But look, let's jump over to the gentlemen themselves, Craig Petty and Rich Relish. What's up, guys?
Yo, yo, yo. I'm good. How are you, man?
Good, man. Good. Good to see you. I'm going to move back a bit so my face isn't like scarily close. But
yeah, so I was trying to do aim everything up and get it sorted.
That's it. We didn't do this like 5 minutes ago. We're professionals. We got it, baby. No, it's been a whole. I've been sitting here the whole day like prepping this live up, so I'm very excited. Look, Craig Petty, Magic TV is in the chat. Let's go. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Thanks for popping in.
You're more than welcome. I'm excited to be here. I mean, I feel like I don't deserve to be here because like Rich is the man when it comes to easy tones, and I feel like I'm just riding along with his coattails. You know, I just think that like I'm basking in his glory, and but I mean, he's the mastermind behind all of this.
I do want to mention that later on about how you kind of like latched yourself onto easy tones. It's an incredible project.
Well, it's what I do. I see a project that I think is going to be successful, and I shoehorn myself into it.
Mate, that's what the best people do. I love it.
What I got to do. And one thing I'd like to say before we even start is having a look at the 3 of us next to each other. Now I understand where me and Rich's hair has gone.
Mate, yeah, I've stolen it all. This is all while you're being in bed at night. I've been in there snipping away.
Yeah, I need a beanie hat. I think that's it.
The only reason I have a beanie is because my hair's starting to go backwards as well. So the plan here is just waiting for this to grow. Comb it over top.
That works. That's a brilliant idea.
So instead of having that, I'm thinking 30 years ahead. Yes. Now I'm just gonna say hello to some people. Chris James is in the chat. 3 legends, 3 great minds, the three stooges. Absolutely. Jen, good to see you in the chat. Thanks for popping in. And the Christian Magician, thank you for popping in. Now, and everyone else also on TikTok. We're also live on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, obviously. But if you are on TikTok and Instagram, come on over to YouTube. But make sure you type in !YouTube, and we will send you a link to the live stream because we are doing some giveaways. And you can also control the stream on YouTube, all the bells and whistles on this bad boy. But look, I really want to talk about one thing, and that's Austin Murphy in a bathtub. But also, I do want to talk about easy tones.
Well, every time, before we start with easy tones, I have got to say, Austin Murphy is in this chat.
Yes.
And every time I come on one of these, I talk about Austin Murphy in a bathtub, and it never happens.
No.
I've even bought the baked beans. Like, I've bought the baked beans. Because last time it was Austin Murphy with baked beans in the bathtub. So I'm thinking, if enough people put it in the chat, we can make this happen.
Yes.
Baked beans.
In the bathtub with baked beans. Austin, I see you in the chat. You can answer me anytime you want.
We need to have a, I just saw James pop up, so I saw Austin responding. So Austin, the ball or the tub, as they say, is in your court.
Mm-hmm.
So oh, hey guys, I thought we agreed that this is for a late night show. Well, there you go. Murphy's
It's late
Magic
night somewhere in the world.
We need to do this. We need to set up the bathtub in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Get Austin in the.
Bring me over to California. I'll make it happen.
I feel like this
Blackpool thing. Sounds like a Blackpool thing.
This does sound like a Blackpool thing. This does definitely sound like a Blackpool thing. I'm also baked beans in the bathtub, trying for a bubble bath. Look, I think that's how they do it in England, right? They don't use bubble bath. It's just all. Yeah. It's all. Now this is getting. I feel like this is going to be an hour chat of beans in the tub. Jeez, I've got mental images right now, but I want to jump in. Rich, can you tell us? That was the perfect segue. Did you notice that? It's so seamless and smooth. Yeah,
smooth.
Yeah. Oof. Rich, can you tell us like a bit about Easy Tones? Give us like the elevator pitch, and then I want to kind of go into the history of Easy Tones, about how you came up with it all. And
Yeah, so essentially it's a deck of color palettes or color swatches, color cards. Each card has got like complementary colors, so they all look right on cue, come with props ready and everything. So yes, it's a color scheme. So these are things that graphic designers might use, or somebody shared on social media, something like maybe a children's illustrator or even a hairstylist. Any job that really works with colors. And yeah, it's just a way of. There's lots of ways of forcing or revealing different colors, because I mean I only perform close-up mentalism, and I found that people sort of relate to colors quite a bit more than they do to playing cards. People might have a favorite playing card, maybe like a Queen of Hearts or an Ace of Spades or something, but when you ask them, do you follow a sporting team, what color are they, do you think the color's positive, do you think it's negative, all these types of things, it just gets different sort of involvement from them. They get a lot more involved. So and that's where it started for me, just an interesting prop. I don't perform propless, so I perform I don't mind having things on the table, things that are quite interesting for people to have a look at or see or use. And yeah, so just started off as a bit of a one-trick pony, and then grew, thanks to Craig's involvement and pushing me to put more ideas in, and it grew to the sort of the product that is now. So that's my sort of elevator pitch.
I love it. The elevator pitch is beautiful.
I will say that Rich is one of the nicest people in Magic, and is way more likable than I will ever be. And because of that, he doesn't like to oversell something. But honestly, saying that this is a nice, easy way to force something does not give this enough credit, because this is an absolute genius utility device for mentalists. And the reason I inserted myself into this project very early on is because I just looked at it and I was like, there's nothing else like this on the market. Yes, it's got a forcing system built into it in a very clever way, but it's got a forcing system built into it where you can show the entire deck as being different colors. Think about that for a minute. You're forcing a color, but you can show every single individual card as having different colors on it. And yet they can literally take any card they want to. They can deal down and stop whenever they want to. You can spread the deck out and have them pick any card, and they're going to get a force card. But that's only one aspect of it. The forcing system in there is just one thing. That's half the deck. Half the deck is a forcing system where every single color is different, by the way. There's over 150 different individual colors. The other half of the deck allows them to literally have a free choice of any card. They can go through them with a fine-tooth comb. Every single card is different. They've all got different colors on them. Every card has a different name. Every color has a different name. There's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of colors. You could literally, if you wanted to, walk out the room, walk down the street, go into Austin Murphy's house, put your head in his bathtub. While you're gone, you can have somebody cut the deck anywhere they want to, take a card, look at a color, remember a color, put it in their pocket. You pull your head back out of Austin Murphy's bathtub. You walk back down the street. You're soaking wet. Doesn't matter. You walk into the room, and with no memorization and no fishing, you can immediately tell them the color that they were thinking of. And that's only one other aspect of it. Then we haven't even talked about how the numbers on there, which coincide with each color, they're designed to do effects as well. And then we haven't talked about how you combine all of that together to create some truly impossible routines for close-up and stage and cabaret and parlor. And then we haven't even talked about the reveal cards that are in there to allow you to do other routines. There's multiple different reveal cards based on images. This is not a forcing system. This is, I'll beat myself, beep, incredible.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said is true.
Whoa.
Although it doesn't come with a bathtub, or it doesn't come with Austin Murphy's address.
No,
So,
no,
no.
it doesn't. But what can you do? You have to get that. If you want to know Austin Murphy's address, type in !Austin tub, and we'll send you his DM of his bathtub and his address. Well, it's been good working with you guys. I'm now fired from Murphy's Magic, so it's good. Have a good day. Geez, what?
I genuinely wanted to say that because this is just like genuinely, I get offered probably about 10 or 15 offers a day to work with people, and most of them I turn down. And when I saw this, I had to beg Murphy's to let me get involved in this because I just saw the potential of this immediately. I just knew that this had so much potential and so much you could do with it.
Yeah.
Incredible utility device.
That is hard. Like I've said before, it's a 50-50 deck. Half is a forcing deck, and the other half is a stacked, marked, an alphabetical stacked marked deck. But what's really exciting for me is how you sort of use both of the properties from both halves of the deck within a routine, and the methods cancel each other out. So and so the forcing deck allows you to do really clean predictions, like really fair predictions. So there's literally no force, is a big bank of cards. And so you do your prediction there, and then the stacked marked half allows you to do your mind reading part. And so as a sort of creator for me, it was when I figured out the core methodology behind the deck. It was a case of, okay, so how can we use that? How can we use the different parts? And then there were sort of fringe benefits as well I hadn't even considered, which meant that when somebody first takes it out to the deck, you don't need, there are routines you can do without even needing to know any of the stack. I mean, we've included crib cards, and there's a crib built into the box and everything. But because you've got half the deck is your forcing deck, there's a great routine Craig put on there, fresh coat of paint, which is doesn't use any memorization at all. You literally pick up the deck and perform it there and then. So sort of those benefits came to light just from taking it out and working with it.
I'm not a mentalist by any stretch of the imagination. I do mental magic. Like Rich will know more. Rich has more mentalism ability in his little finger than I do in my entire body. But so to explain to people how this deck is made up that are as stupid as I am, imagine a Svengali deck where you've got 26 cards that are 9 of hearts and 26 cards that are completely different. Now imagine that same Svengali deck had the 26 cards that were completely different, but each one of them was in a stack, so that you could literally cut those 26 cards and you could immediately know what card they were taking. But now imagine that stack was marked in a way that you would never be able to notice it's marked, even if you gave them to a magician and said, these cards are marked. I did this on Matt the other day in my office, and I said, these cards are marked, look for the marks, and he couldn't. Now imagine that you don't need to memorize that stack at all because of a built-in floating key that runs throughout the deck. But now imagine, with that Svengali deck and that marked stack section, imagine that you could spread the deck out in your hands or on the table, and every single card would look different all the way through, even though 26 cards are actually the same. Imagine that it was set up in a way, you could make every card look different, and then the spectator could handle them and could take cards, and that's what we have here. But you're dealing with colors instead of playing cards, so it's instantly more relatable. You know, when I was doing the live performances for this, and I was having somebody say, think of a color, have you got your favorite color? Think of a favorite color. Everybody has a favorite color. How many times have you done a card trick and you go, think of your favorite playing card? Can you think of your favorite playing card? And they're just there going, I'm not sad. I haven't got a favorite playing card. And of course you haven't. Nobody outside of magicians would have a favorite playing card. Everyone has a favorite color.
Yeah.
Everyone has a favorite color. So you take the fact that this is instantly more of a interesting hook that people can relate to. You combine that with the fact that there's some principles in here that work together brilliantly. You combine that with the fact that there's a few routines on there, to say at least, which is where I came in. You put all of that together, and you've got just a ridiculously powerful device that you can do so much with.
Yeah, I mean, just to show people, so that these, so you can see. Oh, I'll go this way. Sorry, these are all look different. They all, and that's the forcing bank. So that's the beauty of it. They all look completely different, and they're all different colors. But when somebody chooses one from here, the four colors and the card itself are all going to be named the same thing. And we've got different ways. You can see almost modern. But when you combine that with 20 cards that sit on the top, which can fairly be shown because they're genuinely all completely different. So you can, as you're going through, calling attention to some of the stranger named colors, and it just means you've got this lovely display. So that is the force bank, and people would never guess. What they're going to take is one of the force cards, and that's my favorite part of it. Is you spread them through in your hands, you spread them on the table. Or I mean, that was a different deck. I like to perform with them sort of on a key ring, and so even then when they spread like this, there's nobody would think that. They might think that maybe there's a duplicate of one card. I mean, you can show them there isn't. All the colors are genuinely different, but that you just wouldn't think that half of that is your forcing bank. So that's.
I love it. I love it. And that's okay. I think let's go from a couple of questions in the chat. First thing, Austin said the bathtub version was the original instructions, but his wife said no way and had to remove it from the instructions. So that is now available extra download on a certain site, but you have to pay extra for that if you want to see that video. That's all we're going to say about that. Evitar says, Bo, can you ask my idea? What if you used colored lens glasses? I assume will this make a difference if you're using colored lens glasses? Will that affect the routine?
No, this is interesting actually. I saw Craig responded to somebody on the Magic Cafe who spoke of something maybe a little bit similar. So the question on the cafe was, what about people who are colorblind? And I think so that might be a similar sort of situation. And what makes this quite interesting is with the force bank especially, you're not actually you don't know the color that you're revealing, you know the name of the color. So if somebody is colorblind or they struggle with that type of thing, it's not a problem because you're revealing the name. And the same with the force bank, with the stack. Now there are some force colors in the stack which are obvious. There's one called leathery, which is a leather color. Jalapeno is going to be a green. So if you find out they've picked one of those, then you can sort of know what the color is as well and play that up. But you're revealing the word. And so what that lends itself to then is presentationally when you're playing this back, rather than it being you're thinking of green, because you know the exact word, you can take almost like a book test style approach. So right, okay, so I want you to think of the first letter, think of the last letter, think of something. So presentationally in terms of your reveal as well, it's interesting because you know the exact spelling, the exact color that they're thinking of. But yeah, if somebody's performing with colored lenses, doesn't make a difference. And if somebody's colorblind, it doesn't make a difference because it's the word rather than the color that you're revealing.
I see. That makes so much more sense. Actually, Evitar just said, just as a reveal more, to have the glasses, and when they put it on, it's color lens, so all the world is the forced color.
But again, I mean, the color's not forced.
Yeah.
It's the name of the color that's forced.
Yeah. Perfect.
So that's
and that's the cool thing. I see where it's coming from. No, you don't have to force anything with this deck. Yeah. That's great. My favorite routine with this, by the way. And of course, if I was going to be involved in the project, I was going to put an any card at any number on here. It's the any color at any number. Like what I've been doing with this, and this just kills, is I bring out the color sample cards. I literally spread through. I have somebody pick any card, and they remember what the card is, and then they pick a color off that card, and they remember the color on that card. And before all of that, I put an envelope down on the table. So then I have them put that card back in the pack. It's shuffled, thoroughly legitimate shuffle. They can shuffle if they want to. You can shuffle, boom, 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 boom. You put the cards down on the table. You don't touch them again. And you say there's 40 cards in this deck, because there are. you have a free choice of number from 1 to 40. Genuinely free choice, no limitation at all. They name the number. You can get them to deal to the number if you want. As they deal, you can show them every card. All of the colors are different on every single card. You get to that card, you show them that the card before would have been called something else, the card after would have been called something else, but the card at the number they name is the card that they picked earlier on. And then you say, well, but you don't look at it. They look at it. You go, have a look at the card at that position. Is that the color? And they go, yeah. And you say, here's the interesting thing, though. You picked any card. You took any color. I put an envelope down there from the very beginning. Not only did you tell everyone what position you shuffled that card into, you then open up the envelope and you show that in the envelope you predicted right from the very beginning the name of the color that they thought of as well. What?
This is a powerhouse deck. This is insane. I just saw someone on TikTok ask, what do you get inside the box? Like, we're talking about all the routines. You mentioned something about some reveal cards. Can we show what's happened inside the box? Who wants to show it off?
Yeah, well, Rich can, because it's his trick.
Yeah.
You get the 40 cards that make up the actual deck, but then you get some of the coolest reveal cards ever, don't you, Rich?
Yeah, and I mean, 40 cards was intentionally chosen for a few reasons as well. The 20 of each, it sort of separates it from looking like a deck of cards a little bit because it's thinner, and personally, because I perform with it. So all I did was I got a hole punch from like a hobby shop and put a ring from Amazon on it, and I quite like this display. You sort of see carpet samples and things hang up like this. So that's why there's 40 cards. But then it was a case of, well, if you're getting a deck printed, we have extra cards, so let's use those. So within the box, obviously, you get the deck. The deck comes in this custom box, and what we've done is so on the back are just names of colors, but this is actually a crib down a crib down this side, so it's not going to focus very well. But what we've got is that the last color here is either the full name or part of the name of the color, because I mean, if the color's jalapeno, if it says JAL, then that's going to be enough to jog your memory there. But rather than it looking a bit obvious going from A to T, what I've done is alternated every line. So it's amethyst is the top one, and then it's actually going from the second half there. So it goes amethyst, burgundy, camouflage, driftwood, every other line. And when you get down to the bottom, it starts again every other line. So there's a nice easy crib built in there if people wanted to use it. So that's the box. And yeah, I suppose it's worth mentioning as well, obviously the trick's called Easy Tones. The deck is called Evershades. That's intentional. So any Googling, it's not gonna reveal the name of the trick to help anything like that. The name being Evershades as well also helps, because for the marking system to work, it needed to have 10 letters. So the marking system uses half a letter per card. So obviously there's 20 cards in the stack, so it needed to be 10 letters. And even I won't go into this level of detail, but the E and the S at the end served a purpose as well. So when we were looking, when I was looking to name something, it had to have 10 letters. I wanted to start with an E and end in an S, or the other way around, and also to sound like a genuine product. So that's why I settled on Evershade. So yeah, so that's the box. There's also a crib card. So this is built to look like the other cards. It's got the 20 force words on it, which means that this can sit in the deck for some routines, or can go in your wallet as a reference point. And obviously it's broken up into 4, so we know the first 5 letters are here, etc. So visually it's nice and easy. If you're looking for RST, you know it's going to be down towards the bottom of the crib. So that's there. Then we've got some reveal cards. So 4 of them. So the 4 force colors are Reflection, Plate, Candy, and Punch. So the first 4 we've got are simply the reveal cards on the branded background. And these can be used for a physical out, so something in each pocket, or you can keep them in 2 double envelopes, etc. And what this means, of course, is when there's one card, there's nothing on the back. When you've shown the one that they're thinking of, you can fairly show that. Just for completeness, then we included 2 double cards, so one with Reflection and Plate, and the other with Candy and Punch. So these could sit in a double envelope, one either side, and you could reveal the one that they're thinking of. So we've got those. Then we've got the reveal images. So obviously Plate, Candy, Punch, and Reflection. And these serve 2 purposes. Firstly, they can be used just as an alternative out, but also we discussed on the download, or you can use your social media if you wanted to use a digital out. So rather than having to find images online, you can take photos of these cards, stick one of them as your wallpaper, one of them on your camera roll, one on your Instagram, one on your Facebook, etc. And yeah, so you've got your 4 outs. So you basically, somebody would take a force card, ask them to look at any color, and they say, right, I'm already committed. Which one did you go for? You went for plate. And all you'd have to remember is that's the one that you put, let's say, on your Instagram, say, brilliant. And I want you to go onto my Instagram. I posted there hours before we met today. And of course, it's the plate. So we've got those there. And then lastly, are probably, these 4 are probably my favorite extra cards. So the intention is that these look like a cover to go on the other half of the deck. So let's say, for example, the deck would come out, so you'd have that on one side, and you'd have, obviously, the back on the other. And so the thinking behind keeping this to look natural is, well, if you've got a deck of these, then it stops the end one getting scratched or damaged or anything. But what I've done is in the corner, this one, for example, says Reflection Design Limited. So let's say, for example, you're going to force reflection by asking them to look at the longest color. You bring the deck out, you pay a little bit of attention to this, and then you would spread through the cards, and your thumb naturally covers the words there. So as you're spreading through the cards and you're demonstrating and pointing at colors, you sort of don't pay any more attention to this. It goes down on the table. Somebody picks one of the force bank, you direct them to the longest color, it's reflection, and then you can draw all attention to this and say, well, look, right from the beginning, you see the word in the corner, which you're always going to choose was reflection. And then the others just allow you a bit more freedom in the choice. You don't have to tell them it's going to be to choose the long color. So you'd have 4 of these in a wallet, in different pockets, etc. One of them would be on the deck. So let's say, for example, the reflection one's on the deck, it doesn't matter. That goes in your pocket. They take 1 out of any 20 cards. They literally choose any of the colors. And at that point, you can take that out of your pocket or take it out of your wallet again and prove that you forced that as well. So that's just, and of course, all of these are optional. When you're performing, you don't need to. It's a good idea to have the cribs when you start off, but after a while, I've purposely chosen sort of unusual words. So hopefully they're going to be a little bit easier to remember. So once you've got them down, you don't need the cribs, etc. I literally just carry it like that. And I've got a nice, so I had a little leather case made as well by the mind hacker, Tony Antonio. He did a great job with this for me. So that sits in my pocket. The leather case never comes out of the pocket. Your finger just goes in, pulls it out there, because I think it'd be a little bit, I want this to look as natural as possible. So having a case for something maybe makes it look like more of a prop than having that in my pocket. And like, yeah, the little ring does mean it gets a little bit beaten up around here, but it doesn't affect the trick at all, doesn't how it works or anything. So I just think it adds a little bit of realness to it anyway. And yeah, so that's what you get. You get the box, the crib card, the reveal cards, and the deck itself, and the 4 cover cards as well. And I think there's also 1 double blank card in there as well, just because that's what the print run made up. So that's intentional. It's not anything that's forgotten to be printed. It's it's just one other card that's in there.
Perfect. There's been so much thought and effort put into every single card in this, which is absolutely insane. And you were saying to me before, this has been 3 years of you working on this, so you can tell with what you've been doing that 3 years of worth of ideas and workings have been put into this deck. Like every single card. It's insane.
Yeah, and I mean when it started, excuse me. So when it started, when I had the initial idea, it was just the force bank with 20 different cards on the top. And at that point, I think I was really excited by it, and I know that's when Lloyd and Craig liked it as well. But Craig said, "Well, look, you've got an opportunity here. There's 20 cards. You go wait, look, what can we use that for?" And then that's when the rest of it got built out, and just over time adding so many different prototypes. Like, oh wait, there we can do something with the numbers. So went back and redesigned and got some more prototypes built, and so trying to pack everything in. Nobody's going to use everything, but that's fine. If some. I quite like the fact that different people will pick it up, like different routines, use it for different things, and put their own spin. I mean, Lloyd put a video up today on his channel, and he's put a different thing on there straight away. He's used the force card, and he's come up with some sort of verbal fishing to allow the free choice. I'm really excited to see what other people are going to pick up as well and do with it.
I love it. A couple of questions. Dynamos says, sorry, Craig.
No. Go on.
Oh, sorry. Dynamos just said, this is amazing. How do I get it? You can get it from your favorite Magic shop, but you can also type in !Alakazam or !Penguin or any of those things you're seeing pop up on screen, and that link will be sent into chat. Or if you're on Instagram or TikTok, it'll be DM'd to you. And Tony Antonio is in the chat. He says, thanks for the shout out, Rich. So that's good.
Oh,
Which brings into Brendan Pierce. Brendan Pierce says, coming in late, will the holder be available for a separate purchase?
I bet you Tony would make that available. Tony is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, what he can't do with leather. That sounds terrible.
Well, moving on. So we're going to jump into
I will say it's not the only thing that he's made for Rich Relish over the years.
it absolutely is. I'm
Magic.
crossing those rumors straight away. It absolutely is.
Tony says he's glad to make it. Hey, now
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, absolutely.
I promise you, it's not about Austin Bathtubs, Tony, and Rich and their.
Well, I'm upset now.
It's not about that. I just want to say that the real gold in this project is the tutorial. I mean, it's around about 3 to 4 hours in length. Can't remember exactly. But what's cool about it is it's got like a 15-minute quick start guide at the beginning. So at the very, very beginning, you can just look at the first 10 or 15 minutes. It's going to tell you everything you need to know to get up and running with this deck. I mean, to be honest with you, just based on this live stream, you could get the deck delivered to you from your favorite Magic shop, and you could open it up and you'd have a good idea of what's going on. But we cover that in the first 10 or 15 minutes. But then the routines, dear Lord, the routines are amazing. Like, they really are. And what's interesting is me and Rich approach things in a very, very different way. Rich is he's a mentalist, obviously, and really just does mentalism. And you're more of how can I describe? We talked about your performance style, didn't we, Rich? It's very kind of understated and it's very relaxed.
Conversational.
Yeah. While when I perform with this, I'm coming at it from the point of view as a magician. So even though I'm doing mind reading, it's kind of more mental magic. And my performance style is kind of very loud and very in your face. And because you've got two completely different styles and two completely different approaches to what this deck could do, should do, and will do, the routines are just so eclectic on here. And one thing that I love about this deck is that you can use it in so many different ways. Some people are going to use all 40 cards. Sometimes when I go out and use this deck, I only use the 20 non-force cards. Sometimes there's a wonderful routine on there based on Gemini twins that uses all the force bank and 2 regular cards, and that is killer. There's so many different things to do with it. My absolute favorite routine is one that uses a very basic application of the one ahead system. And you have somebody imagine that they live in a house and there's like 1,000 rooms, and that they're going to redecorate one of those rooms in a particular color. They get to pick the color, and they get to decide in their imagination what the room should be. And the places that I work, it's normally people thinking sex dungeon or something, but they think of the room, they think of the color, and before they even say anything, you wrote down what you predicted. You wrote down on business cards or file cards or billet cards or whatever, what they're going to be thinking of. And then they say it for the first time, and with no moves, you turn those cards around and you're 100% correct. Bo wanted to redecorate his sex dungeon in Scarlet or whatever it may be. So the point is, the real sort of gold here, yes, you've got an incredible tool that does so much with so many principles built into it, designed to look like something that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Outside of that, that's great. But if you don't know what to do with it, then it's nothing. And the routines that we share, you could literally do a 15-minute mentalism act, 20-minute mentalism act just with this deck in your pocket. You're good to go. That's how strong it is.
I think we should see a full performance of that. I think we want to see. I love these routines, and this is mind-blowing. I want to see. There's got 2 performances. If we got time, we'll play 2 today, but definitely play 1 now. And then we can run a competition and continue chatting, because this is.
I will say, in terms of performances as well, and not to pimp up my own channel or anything, but I've got a video going up on Sunday on Magic TV, and it's a kind of a review show special of this particular deck, and I performed 4 or 5 of the routines off the project to Jack in my office. Everybody who knows Jack is a head case is mental. But I performed 4 or 5 routines of the project to him, and you get to see in a studio performance a completely, like you can see everything. You see exactly how these things play. So, I want people to see performances of these routines, because honestly, when you see some of the stuff you can do with this, they're so much more powerful than just pick a card. Okay, so much more.
That's what I like as well. I mean, you absolutely can force words, numbers, and so you can use those to force other things. So you can do that at his core, at his basic sort of level. But so there are going to be some people who like that and will want to develop those into routines to fit their own shows, etc. But otherwise, there's I think 9 or 10 routines, parlor, stage, close up, all on the project as well. So some people are more than welcome just to go straight to those and perform out of the box.
Perfect.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
Sick. And also, no one is going to get updates on the dungeon. No one's getting updates. If you type in !dungeon, you'll get DMs on everything that's happening dungeon-wise. But that had to be said. Now, moving on, I want to see one of these performances. Let's jump in and see one of the performances now, and we can check and chat about it after. So we're totally going to be watching along with you at home, by the way. We are. That's how we do it. Let's roll the clip.
So what I've got here are a deck of the cards with different colours. Okay. Now, I made the mistake. When I saw these online, I thought it was like you see in B&Q, the different pink colours. But it's not. This is actually for graphic designers, because when they design something on a computer, they don't know whether that monitor is going to look the same as when it's printed out. So this not only tells them what colours go together and what schemes work, but also they know, right, if they type in, there's a code there, if they type in that code, that's how it's going to look when it's printed out. So, we've got all these different colour schemes, and what I'm going to need from you is to know which one of you has probably got the fieriest temper.
Not me. Not me. I'd probably say...
Okay, good. So we'll get you in a second. So this is going to be... this one's going to be yours, and I mean, if you can help for this bit, because give you another opportunity from the last one, so you can have this one. So we've only got, there's probably about 20 odd of the cards here. So what we're going to do instead is put these 2 question marks in 2 different places. So we'll start with you. So yours is going to go in the top half. So I'd like a number between 1 and 11. Yes, please.
7.
Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, do you want your card to be number 7, or should I deal 7 and then put it in?
I want it to be number 7.
Okay, brilliant. And just before we do that, I'm going to ask you, just so we know which one's which, can you just initial or sign the back of that card? Wicked. I'll go there. Oh, that's fine. And then we've got another 10 or 11 before we get down to that one. Yours isn't going to be naming a number, it's just going to be on instinct. So I'm going to deal the cards slowly. Actually, if you could initial your card as well, so we know which one's which.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I'm going to deal the cards slowly, and whenever you're ready, just say stop, and that's where yours will go. And as long as we don't hit the other face-up card, that's the only thing to think about.
Stop.
Brilliant. So we've got 2 cards in 2 different positions in the deck that were chosen in 2 different ways. And let's see how we've done. So we're going to look exactly where you stopped. So that one was there. And this one was here. Now the reason I asked earlier on about the person with the more fiery temperament is, you see, this is stopped on a card called Hot Tones, whereas the person with the calmer temperament has stopped on one called Cheerful, a bit more of a sunny disposition.
Definitely.
And the card that I gave you, which we never turned over, actually says Hot Tones on it.
What?
And your card, which you initialed, was the Cheerful card.
What?
But I haven't actually showed you the rest of these cards.
That's
and sometimes,
what I was just about to say. I was just wondering if there was any chance that you could possibly...
Well, skeptical people think maybe they're all cheerful and hot tones, but they're not. But you see, even though they all look different like this, you see, if you'd have said any other number, if you'd have said stop at any other time, this wouldn't work, because all of these cards are all the almost modern cards.
I feel sick.
So thank you very much. So that's.
No, thank you. I'm just baffled. I'm baffled.
I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. Oh, brilliant.
No, this was great. This is perfect. This is perfect.
Do you guys enjoy that?
That was
Oh.
the Gemini twins routine.
Yes.
And I've always loved Gemini twins. It's been one of my favorite routines forever. And doing it this way and having that kicker. First of all, Rich, I love what you did because I suggested Gemini twins, but how you took it to the next level is ridiculous. I love the fact that you've got that so awesome hook line. Who do you think here is the most hot-headed person? Because immediately you say that and the entire group are talking. I mean, that's what close-up magic's all about. That's what building a rapport with an audience is all about. Getting people talking, giving them a conversation point. And that is one of the best I've ever heard. Out of everyone in this group, who's the most hot-headed?
And everyone points at someone. There's always one.
At somebody. And you see it in the trailer when that woman goes, "What, me?" And it's great. It's such an incredible hook. But then you go, well, let's see if we can do this. And you've got this, there's so many moments. You've got this really cool prediction where you apparently have influenced them so that the hot-headed person gets the hot-headed card, the cheerful person gets the cheerful card. That's hit number one. Then hit number two is that you've predicted the cards that the colors that the names of the cards that they would land on. And then you've got that. That's hit 2 and 3 because you've got 2 predictions. And then hit number 4 is you show that all the other cards are almost modern, which just destroys them. And everything's examinable. And it's an instant reset. You can get into it at the end of a whole bunch of other routines with the regular cards. It's just it is the best. I'm going on record now as saying this is the best version of the Gemini twins plot I've ever seen. I'm sorry, Leonard Green. I'm sorry with your stolen cards. You may have the monopoly on the laser deal and stuff. We'll let you have that. But when it comes to the Gemini twins, this, because of the deck and how it's designed and the colors and everything and the kicker at the end, this is the best version of that. And if you've never done Gemini twins before, it's self-working. You can do that within 5 minutes of learning. What you just saw Rich do, you can do within 5 minutes. Once you get the deck, you watch the tutorial for that trick, you're up and running straight away. It's so good.
And I think this demonstrates like sort of the different approaches we have, because in my professional gigs, it's not one of the performances. The Gemini twins is not something I do very often, because for me, spreading all the cards and showing they're all the same, it's all about the kicker. But as a mentalist, it's a case of, well, okay, well, why have you got all those cards that are called the same? It puts the validity of the prop into question as a mentalist. So for a magician, yeah, they're all the same. Boom, there's your big ending. But for me, I prefer some of the other routines, which are perhaps a little bit more explainable with your perceived powers, rather than that, which is more of a mental magic kicker. So yeah, it just goes to show whichever you prefer. I mean, it's probably worth explaining as well. My performance style is very psychological in nature. So there are definitely going to be some performers out there who are more sort of psychic in their performance style. And no doubt they can obviously still use the same methods, but they'll be able to pick things up from it. But the vast majority, if not all of the routines on there, are either a psychological style or like a mental magic style. So
Rich's style is very psychological. Well, my style is very stupid, and I'm all about the big ending. I love a big ending. There's nothing I like better with my magic than having a big ending. Just saying.
We just leave that sit there for a minute.
Anyway, moving on. I love it. Yes, I'm not going to say anything to that. I think we should do a giveaway. On that note, let's do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway of a Murphy's Magic bundle, which is going to be a whole bunch of Murphy's Magic releases. So what I need everyone to do, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, you need to come on over to YouTube to enter this. And you're going to type in !prize, and that will get you in the draw to... Let me see if this is... It says the giveaway has started, so...
And are we giving away the good stuff, Bo?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good.
We are giving away the good stuff.
All the good trips. Map to Austin's house. All that stuff.
No comment.
Okay.
Why is it, Looks like it's working. Okay, cool. So we're going to run that giveaway for a minute. Oh, yeah, it's running. So we're going to let that run for a minute, and then we're going to draw out our winner for that. But in the meantime, I do want to mention someone saw a message on Instagram asking how much is Easy Tones. It's $34.95, which brings to the skill level. Obviously, skill levels range on this for different skill levels, but you're looking at probably starting at a beginner magician and then working your way up depending on how you want to perform this and what you want to perform with this.
Yeah. There's no slides per se. Like there's actually the one routine creates any color at any number that needs a far over. Apart from that, there's no slides whatsoever. I think we go through some fake shuffles and things just to keep the cards in stack. But I think what takes it from the performance level of beginner is more presentational and some of the memory work to get some of the routines down rather than being anything sort of finger flinging and slight heavy.
And I noticed that Danny asked a question in the chat as well. Does Ryland like this? And I'll tell you right now, the answer is yes. He loves this because it's a card trick that doesn't use playing cards. It uses colors. He adores it. It's
not a boring card trick.
It's not a boring card trick. That's the thing. Ryland doesn't like boring card tricks. As long as they're interesting and they involve colors, we're golden. So
there you go. Perfect. Sorry, I'm also just trying to get that giveaway up. So talk amongst yourselves while this happens. That Alan said Ryland approved.
Ryland approved, yeah.
Yeah, Ryland approved. There you go.
I think he gave it 120% plus Tulin. So that's means nothing to anybody really, to be honest. So, but that's a good mark.
That is a very good mark.
I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring in the winner for this. We had 17 people enter. So let's pick a winner for the Murphy's Magic Bundle. Congratulations, Gordon Wardle. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Enter.
Go, Gordon.
Gordon. Craig's going to take his shirt off now to celebrate. But Gordon, leave that on. Send me a DM on any of Murphy's socials, Gordon. And Gordon, if you're still in the chat, just type in something in the chat so we know you're still here. But then definitely send me a message on any of Murphy's socials and we'll get that prize pack straight out to you quicker than Craig can take his shirt off.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely.
That's quick.
That's very quick. That's very quick. Depends if he's in my dungeon or not. Yeah, there you are, Gordon. Thanks for popping in, mate. DM on Murphy's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, dungeon.com, whatever you want to enter, chat to us on. We'll definitely sort you out there. Now, I do want to mention, we talked about this a little bit earlier about performing this and you're at tables and things. What kind of magician would this kind of work for? Would this work for close-up, walk-around, obviously, but we're getting into like parlor, stage, that type of thing. Who is going to get the biggest kind of kicks out of this?
So can I just say one thing on this, Rich, before you take over? Because I just want to say something. I assume that my performances are included on the project. I think they are. When you see my performances of the routines on the project, because we were very, very specifically wanted to get as many live performances as possible, you'll see that all of the routines I'm doing, they're all walk around. I'm not even using a table. I'm just doing it in the hands, strolling. You don't need a table for this. There's no angles. There's no issues. Do some of the routines require a table? Yeah. Like the Gemini twins, you'd probably struggle to do without a table. But most of them are designed for strolling, designed for, if you look up commercial in the dictionary, you can see a picture of this trick. Like, it's pretty much an instant reset on most, if not all, of the routines. But Rich has even included routines that are designed to work on stage. I included a tossed out deck routine, which is killer, by the way. The tossed out deck routine is insanely good. Imagine doing tossed out deck, but with colors. Well, you can. You don't have to think about it. It's happening. But Rich put on there an absolutely mental routine, the paint can. And when he was explaining it to me in the tutorial, I was like, this is nuts. This is the most nuts routine ever. But I know that it would work because I perform on stage probably more than I do close up. And as I was listening to it, I was like, this is so good. This is such a good routine. So from my point of view, I'll hand over to Rich now, but from my point of view, it works for everything. And even if you're a magician like me, and I am a magician, I'm not a mentalist. I can pimp myself out occasionally as a mentalist, but I'm generally a magician. You don't have to be like Darren Brown to do this, and like, you know, like influence and psychology and stuff like that. You don't have to have a widow's peak, or you don't have to have any of that stuff. Like, you don't have to present this like a mentalist. You can present a lot of these routines as mental magic, and they work brilliantly. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're a magician, you're a mentalist, this project's got you covered. What say you, Rich?
Yeah, there's not a lot left to add, but yeah, you're right. Predominantly I perform at weddings and bars, so that's walk around and close up covered there. Like you said, we've got parlor routines on there, we've got stage routines on there. To be honest, most of the time, if not all of the time, I don't even bother mixing the cards, because you've got such a fair spread for somebody to choose a card from. Like, I don't even bother with a false shuffle, so it means that the reset is put in one. Normally the routine I do most often, somebody's got one of the force cards, so the reset is putting that within the top 20 cards, which is nice and easy, and then somebody else has chosen one of the marked cards, so it's a case of just spreading through, finding the place in the alphabetical stack and putting that back. And quite often that's at the bottom, because that's how you're getting your peek at what they've chosen. So it's a case of like one card in 20, another card on the face, and you bring the correct card to the front. So it's literally, it was important for me for that routine. It's my workhorse. But yeah, it resets in between tables. That's done. Put the clip back on the cards and go back in the pocket, and you're performing at the next table. So yeah, it was only, and again, this is only when we started working within a sort of filling out some of the ideas that we thought of these other applications. Predominantly, I'll be honest, it was developed for me. So it was for close-up, it was for tables and walk around. But then you think, well, actually, there are applications that can make it play bigger, parlor, stage. So yeah, there's definitely something for everybody. And I'm sure the parlor magicians experience, stage magicians are going to be able to use it and take it a lot further as well.
Absolutely love it. Do we want to see one of your worker routines now? I know when we put up the performance, you said, "Oh, have we got the worker routine? Do we want to?"
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's put that up.
But by way of a little sort of intro, so this is mind reading versus prediction for me. This is the one I do. Yeah, like I said, this is the one I do all the time. It shows different skills. It's got, what was important for me in this one is you're in control of the timing of the reveal at the end as well. So I reveal something verbally, something as a prediction. So everything's in your hands to control the timing. So yeah, this is my favorite routine.
I love it. Let's roll it. Craig, hit the button.
I'm going to ask you to reach in and take one. Please don't feel like I'm making you choose one. Brilliant. And then if you reach in and grab one from down there. Yeah. Oh, that one. Cool. And now the first choice is, or you can choose this. Would you like to make it easy or difficult for me? And honestly, don't feel like you've got to make it easy.
I'll make it easy for you, man.
Okay.
Go on, do it.
Yeah, that's no problem. So what we'll do is we'll go for the colour with the most letters, the longest one. So if you both look on your card, and if you both look at the colour that's got the longest name.
Colour that's got the longest name.
Okay.
Yes, the most number of letters. And I'm going to start with you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, just a few simple questions.
Yeah.
As a snap decision, would you say that this colour is predominantly positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay. And is it a particular sport that you follow?
A sport?
Yes.
Like the colour.
No, but is there a sport that you follow? Do you follow football or rugby, or do you watch? Do you watch?
Yeah.
So if there was, let's say if there was a football team and their kit was this colour, would you imagine them to be a successful team or not a very successful team?
A successful team.
Okay. I think. Yeah, one more. So if there was a parked car this colour,
okay,
would you consider that to be a safe or a risky driver?
A driver.
Yeah,
I would say safe.
A safe driver, okay. So I'm going to say this is... Oh, I can see what's it called. This is one of the... I think it's one of the strange ones. It's the colour... Is it Heliotrope? Is the
Yeah.
colour called Heliotrope? It is.
Yes, it is.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
No way!
So that that leaves us with your colour. So this has been here from
Chelsea bastard.
so this has
No
been here.
freaking way!
This has been here from the very beginning, and then this was relating to your colour. So this is shared now. So can you share with us all what is the name of the colour you're thinking on here, the long colour?
Can I tell you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm committed with my decision in the envelope that's been there from the beginning.
What? Okay.
The whole time.
I'll tell you now.
Absolutely.
It's a reflection.
Just one card in here. You'll be thinking of.
No way! How did you know that?
There we go. I was reading chat then, and I missed my cue to hit the old buttons and magoos. I know. Hey, whoa! Craig's doing a show for us right now. I love it. Love it. Oh no! Someone Mag MM crashed the stream. You scallywag. Now, I did see a question in here. Actually, you wanted to bring something up too, Rich, that you were chatting about while that performance was playing. Did you want to?
Yeah, just around like sort of the presentation around it. So obviously I ask some questions on there. Just that's for me with my mentalist hat on. That's my perceived process. I ask these questions, and we go through loads of varieties on the explanations. Like, well, is the colour positive or is it negative? Can you imagine somebody wearing a dress this colour? Would you say that that's usual or unusual? The point I'd like to make is you don't have to do that. Like I said, one of them is a force from a force bank, so you know what they're thinking of. The other, you're reading a mark of an alphabetical stack. So the presentation is, for me, it suits my character. If you're taking down the psychic route, you could put something else in there. But yeah, I just wanted to make it clear that by no means are you fishing for anything there. There's no information gleaned from that. For me, it's just putting a little bit of distance between the selection and the revelation. So yeah,
and that's one of the reasons why it's so good having me and Rich on the same project, because the way I present a lot of this stuff is more direct. The way Rich performs is brilliant for a mentalist, and those questions really make it look like he's trying to, get inside their head. While with me, it's like, you're thinking of a color, you're thinking of goldenrod. Yeah. Shut up. Yeah, exactly. So, you can do it literally as direct as that. It's completely up to you.
Love it. Now, we did have some more questions. If you guys got any more questions in the chat, please throw them in and I'll ask the guys. But examinability, I'm pretty sure we all know the answer to this, but how examinable are the cards at the end of the day?
So they're displayable, aren't they? That's what you've got. You've got the fair display. You spread them, show it different, and then as you're demonstrating, you show the top 20 cards are absolutely fair. What I'm never going to pass it to somebody for them to hold the deck. I mean, maybe some different performers would say to somebody, well, look, you take the force half, you shuffle and you choose one. Maybe it says more for the nature of some of the places I perform than anything. But I'm more likely to, like I said, to spread the cards, demonstrate, show the face, show the colours are all different, and then ask them to choose from a face spread rather than pass them half the deck and choose a force card out of it. But that's probably where Craig would differ, and he'd be quite comfortable doing that with people.
Well, but the thing I'd say is, first of all, Rich is from Wales, and so generally only performs for sheep, so you have to consider that. But second of all, you can relate, you're from Australia. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I want to say about this is, and this goes back to what I said earlier on, you can set the deck up however you want to. So you don't need to use the force bank. We're talking about this force bank of 20 cards, but we don't have to use the force bank if we don't want to. You could just use the 20 cards and do some incredible direct mind reading. And if you're just using those 20 cards, everything is completely examinable. They can take every single card with a fine-tooth comb. If, however, you choose to set it up with the force bank, yes, there's 20 cards that are the same in essence. But it's not like a playing card where it's like if you had 29 of hearts in the deck, you'd be able to tell there's 29 of hearts. 3/4 of the real estate of that card is made up of completely different colors. And for me, that's the genius thing about this, because at any point you want to, during the routine, you can show every single individual card as being completely and totally different. And because they're taking the cards and they're handling the cards and they're shuffling the cards and they're cutting the cards and they're doing everything, the cards are beyond suspicion, because you're talking about colors, and they can see that all the colors are different. They don't need to examine them. Even if you gave them a deck and had them spread them out, I don't think they'd find anything. But I've been performing with this deck probably for the best part of a year and a half. I've used it so many times, and I don't think I've ever had somebody say, can I examine that deck? Ever. Now, I've had people say that with the deck of playing cards many, many times. Never had anyone say that with this, because it looks like a legitimate object. It comes back to the fact that it looks like something that everybody knows about. Everybody knows what a color palette looks like. It looks like a real object. So because it looks like a real object, especially when you do it the way Rich does it with a little ring around it and holes through it all, it's beyond suspicion. It really is. So there's ways of having it so that it's completely examinable every single step of the way. But even if you choose to set it up in a way where half the cards aren't examinable, nobody's ever going to want to examine it. And that's the beauty behind the system that Rich has created here, that I'm literally just piggybacking off and just enhancing my brand and reputation by just being associated with this project. Thank you, Rich.
You're welcome.
I love it. I know, because I was just saying to you before, Craig, that when this came out, I put it up online, and I was like, Easy Tones by Rich Relish, and everyone was like, what about Craig Petty? He was part of this. And I was like, what? I was like,
oh, well, for any creators out there, if anybody would like me to pimp my way into their project, I'd be more than happy to do that as well. I will insert myself into anybody's project anytime.
Anyway, moving on. Alan asked whether Rich will be at Blackpool Magic Convention 2025.
I'll make it. I know. This year.
You said you can't make it?
No, I can't make this one. We got family things happening, but yeah.
Next year,
I'm just
year after 2026.
Yes,
brilliant.
Definitely 2026.
We'll push Austin Murphy's Bathtub Blackpool Magic Convention show until 2026. It'll be on main stage, Blackpool Magic Convention.
Sounds good.
But who was the guy that asked that question?
Alan, Magic Alan.
Okay, Magic Alan. I just had you on my channel. I interviewed you. Mm-hmm. Not that you asked. I'll be there.
Whoa. Okay. Trouble in paradise.
There's two people's names on this box. It's me as well, I'll be there.
Your name's on the box? Let me see.
I think I am. Am I in the box? I don't know.
Actually, I did want to mention this. We had some people bring this up. Actually, I had a couple of people bring this up, that how dare we upset Rich Relish and disgrace him the way we did. No one really. Oh, you are on the box, Craig, at the bottom.
Did they spell my name right?
They did spell your name right, but they spelled Richard Relish with double L. But that's what they weren't upset about. We've had no one complain about how we misspelled Rich's name. We had people upset that we put in Welsh talent and we misspelled talent. And that's because that's how you spell talent in Welsh.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, sure.
I'd just like to put out on social media right now that Murphy's Magic are looking for a full-time proofreader within their company. So if you would like to apply for the job of proofreader, just email in to bowsexdungeon@gmail.com and send your resume, and you could be a proofreader for the world's largest magic wholesaler. You're welcome.
Murphy's Magic doesn't condone sending emails to that.
I think it's a quiz. I think it's like a prize. When all you've got to do is find 6 mistakes on Murphy's products, email them to Bo, and you win something.
That's actually an Easter egg that we put into every single one of our things, because it creates good talking points like this. Because then it adds a little Easter egg hunt.
Mistakes on copy. All you have to do is just find the ones that Lloyd's involved with, and
that's yeah. Lloyd Barnes, if you're watching, I love you very much. Question: Genius Performance. Do half of the 40 cards have almost modern written on them?
Yes.
There you go.
And that's a good point, actually. Yeah. So they're intentionally called almost modern because that name of a color scheme doesn't associate itself with particular colors. So, like if it was all called, I don't know, like wintry reds, then it wouldn't look so good when all the cards are spread. So yeah, almost modern, and the 4 force colors of reflection, plate, candy, and punch were very intentionally chosen, so they're quite ambiguous. They suit a lot of colours. Obviously, reflection, we had to have one as the longest one because we wanted to use that ploy to force it. But yeah, so Almost Modern doesn't look out whenever any of the cards is chosen and that colour scheme is called Almost Modern. It makes sense along with the 4 colours associated with the 4 force words. So yeah, that is on that.
There you go.
Can I just? I've just looked at YouTube for the first time, and there's 2 people that have asked questions that I'm just going to quickly answer, if that's okay.
Yep.
So Gordon Wardle said, "Any of you guys at South Tyneside this weekend?" I will be there. I'm actually doing a lecture at South Tyneside this weekend, so I'm going to be lecturing, and Ryland's going to be there, and he's on the gala show. So so me and Rye are going to be there, and we're bringing Matt with us as well. You know,
that guy.
Just purely out of sympathy more than anything else. He's not doing anything, just standing in the corner looking pretty.
Standing there looking handsome. It's what he does best.
Standing there looking sexy. So yes, we're all going to be there. So come along and say hi, and I will show you. I will have Easy Tones with me. I'm not going to lecture it because it's not my trick to lecture, it's Rich's. But I will have it with me, and I'll be performing it to anybody who will.
I don't know. Your name's on the box, mate.
Well, the name's on the box, but you know, I don't want to steal Rich's glory any more than I already have.
To be fair, there's not much left to lecture. We've basically gone through the vast majority of the method.
Anyway. Although there's one thing we haven't gone through, which I want to just cover now, because the other thing is I saw Bob Crane say...
That was my next question.
Really important, yeah. He said, how good is the close-up vision need to be to read markings? Reading glasses likely needed. No. Now, I'm basically legally blind. If I take these glasses off, I can't see anything. I'm like John Cena right now. You can't see me. I can't see a damn thing, right? Anybody who knows me knows that I will say that the best person in the world that marks cards or anything is Phil Smith. However, I think that Rich has got up to Phil Smith's levels with this marking system. It's genius. I think it's close. It's genius. It's so easy to read. So first of all, remember, there's 40 cards. 20 of the cards don't need to be marked because they're a force bank. That leaves us with another 20 cards, which are A through to T. And I've never bothered to memorize them like Rich has, because I don't need to, because they're all cribbed. What's the point? Although I do find, Rich, that I've started to memorize them just for the fact that they, you know, I know G is goldenrod, I know H is heliotrope or something like that.
Yeah.
Heliotrope, yeah, I know some of them. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Camouflage, C, there you go. B, burgundy. I know some of them. But the point is, they're an alphabetical stack running from A through to T, which is 20 letters. Can you show the back of one of the cards, Rich? So here's the genius marking system that Rich came up with. The backs of the cards have Evershades written on them, which is the name of the fake company that he's created. Now, this is genius. You're seeing the marked cards now. And I'm going to explain the marking system to you, if that's okay. This is the marking system. There are if Rich holds those up, you'll see that there's 10 letters there. Go a little bit over the other way. There we go. Stop. There we go. There's 10 letters there, right? And there's 20 cards. Now, if you look at that card, you will notice that the H is in black on the left-hand side. If we look at a different card, you'll see that the black this time is on the A on the left-hand side. Now, so all you have to do to work out what the first letter of the card is, right? All you have to do is just go along. So E is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. That is going to be N. That is going to be N right there. I have no idea what N is because I haven't memorized them. I don't know. It's
Nightclub.
Nightclub. But that is the marking system. And I've given these to magicians and I've said, find the marking system, and they can't. You can't even do a riffle test on it and see what the marks are. The marking system is genius. So all I have, and don't forget, they don't have to be in stack. You can have them shuffled. But if you have them in stack, right, you can literally show all the cards as different. They can see them all. You can then have them cut the cards anywhere they want to. You can turn around. They can cut the cards anywhere they want to, complete the cards. And then they can take the card away, and then they can look back. When they look back, so in that case, that's the R, isn't it, Rich? That's the R on the left-hand side, yeah. So I know that the card they will have taken is the one to the left of that. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F. That's F. So if I see the marking there, they're going to have taken F. They're going to take, and it's the long word principle. So when they look at that card, there's 4 colors. Each color is different, but you tell them to think of the color with the longest amount of letters, and that's going to be the letter begins with F, which is cribbed on the box and on the floating crib.
Yes, firework. How I like to think of it is the mark. When somebody's taking, if you're reading the card they took, then you look at the actual half a letter, but otherwise that tells you when to stop. So in my head, I'm going I've got to get straight around. I'm going A, B, C, D, E, F, and then I stop. So that's why I know the card they've taken is firework. And obviously there's lots of letters here. For the second half, the H lines up with K. So I just think of like Hong Kong for HK. So I know if I see the markings down this half, I just start counting from K down here. But the other thing to mention is you don't even need to use these. When somebody takes a card, if you cut it, that position, then all you need to do is look at the card on the face. So for example, if the card on the face, as you gesture and say, right, I want you to choose any of the cards. So I'm noticing here, this is magenta. So obviously they've gone for the card before it, which is going to be, nightclub. Of course, this is the letter after, so it's going to be nightclub. So even if you think, well, okay, with lighting conditions, etc., I'm not going to be able to read these marks. The fact that it's an alphabetical cyclical stack means that whichever card ends up on the face after you've cut it cues you to a card they've chosen anyway. So
but bad eyesight is not going to affect that. And when you watch my review, I've got a review going up on Sunday, like I said, on Magic TV, and on Tuesday I've got a Matt test. And I blew Matt's mind with this, and he had no idea, and he was looking at the marks for ages, couldn't see a damn thing. It's just so strong,
and half the cards are not even marked. So if somebody is looking for markings, it's not until you get 21 cards down you even find a marked card. So
But you got terrible eyesight, makes no difference.
Yeah, we got you covered.
There you go. Hot diggity dog. That's amazing. I knew the marking system. I didn't know whether we wanted to chat about the marking system, but it just blows me away, that marking system. I love it so much. Everyone in the chat's just like, wow, wow, wow. Mentalist on a Shoestring says, looks great and clever work by the man Rich Relish and Craig Petty. Alan says, genius. Man, amazing, so good. Rich, this is so good. Do the cards come pre-punched, or is that something you need to do after receiving them? Yes, you will need to punch them. If you want to have them on a ring, you'll need to punch them.
Yeah.
So I don't use the hole punches. I don't use the ring at all because I prefer to have the cards in a box. So and for me, I don't introduce them as like color samples from like a B&Q or something. I talk about how they're the sort of cards that you use if you're a graphic designer, and it's useful to see the colors printed out because they look different printed out on card than they do if they're on a screen. So a lot of graphic designers will have a deck of cards like this. They'll look at the color they want and they'll find that palette number or that Pantone number, and that Pantone number will be inputted into the design they're doing, and that will immediately tell them that's the color they need.
There you go. Love it. I think that's like what Lloyd said here when he's getting his new house done up. That's the way I think I'm going to have it as well, because we're renovating our house as well. So it's literally going to sit on our shelves. For anyone that comes over and like, hey, we're painting the house. What do you reckon? I like the idea of when Lloyd was...
That's a good point, by the way, Bo. One thing to note is we're talking about this as taking it to gigs because me and Rich both gig. Let's be honest, probably 80% of magicians are hobbyists. They perform socially. They perform to friends and family. This is the sort of thing that if you just had it lying around your house when you've got friends come over, it looks like the sort of thing that you'd have in your house. It doesn't look out of place. So if you have friends come around and they go, "Oh, you do magic, don't you? Can you do me a trick?" They know if you pick up a pack of cards, there's a chance that something's gimmicked about it, or they've done something with it, or something like that. But if they, if you just go, "Well, yeah, can you grab that over there for me?" It's we're looking at color samples. We're doing the bedroom up. Hey. Let's see if we can do something with this. You know, it doesn't look out of place.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
One thing I will say, if you don't want to punch your cards, you can buy a specific corner hole punch, because one prototype was ruined by me trying to do it with like an A4 binder, trying to line them up. It's just not going to work. Like, I think Hobbycraft in the UK, I'm sure there's equivalents everywhere else, but yeah, just a corner punch. And the metal rings are just the quick release rings from Amazon. I can't remember what size they are. Somebody has asked me, which I'll get back to them. So I'll post that. And I ended up buying quite a few of them just to get them. But yeah, so it's maybe 3 centimeters perhaps. But yeah, those were available from Amazon as well. So that's, yeah. But like Craig said, it's important to consider that once you put the ring through it, it doesn't fit in the box very nicely. So if you are going to use a crib, you're going down the route of using the crib card rather than the crib box. So yeah, choice.
Perfect. I will say though, we're going to wind up in a second. So I do want to mention, if you do want a chance to win another Murphy's Magic bundle on this video, in the comment section, type in whatever your favorite color is, whether it's scarlet, because that's my favorite color. So whatever is your favorite color, throw it in the comment section below. After this video, you can throw it in the live chat as well, but also throw it in the comment section. An extra bonus points if you do scarlet, and we'll draw someone out at random on Tuesday's episode of Stumped, where you can win a Murphy's Magic bundle. So for all those latecomers, Mental's on a shoestring says Purple Rain. Purple Rain. I don't know how that song goes. That's all I know from that. Thank you so much, guys. Any last words you want to go over? Is there anything you want to mention while everyone's typing in colors?
No, I mean, we've been quite open. We've been quite open and honest with everything, which I think is sort of the stance that Craig and Lloyd and Murphy's are like, well, look, if you can't perform the trick without it, then we may as well teach you what's gone into it, because I didn't want people just to think that there are things we haven't even gone into, like we said, with the numbers and the orientation of the backs. And so there is more to the project, but we've been really open. So if anybody has any questions, yeah, I'm contactable on sort of Facebook, Instagram, Rich Relish with 1L, don't follow the box.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. It's getting hot in here, isn't it? It's getting woof.
And I will say two things. The first thing I'll say is thank you so much, Rich, for allowing me to be on the project. Sincerely, genuinely, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. The second that I saw this, my mind was just racing with ideas, and the fact that you've allowed me to come on the project and be on it with you, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You are an absolute genius. So, and I genuinely mean that. You're an absolute genius. So thank you. And the other thing I'll say is, if you guys have any questions, reach out to Rich, not me. I'm busy. You won't get hold of me. You can all stuff that. You can message me. I'm not going to answer you. I'm going to just type relish in the comments. So you may as well just cut that process out and just go straight to Rich, because he's more likable than me. He's nicer than me, and he's got more of a chance of getting an answer from him.
Who's the cuddlier though? Who's the best cuddler? Look, Blackpool Magic Convention 2026. I think we need to. Oh, it's on.
I will have a cuddle off with him right now. I will have a cuddle off with him. No one.
Yeah, but we've got our own special word in Wales, a cutch, which is a special type of cuddle. Which so.
Is that a sheep thing? I don't.
So yeah, it's a Wales thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like that. It's like there's a photo of me. I think it's Dan Buck, Nicholas Lawrence, Xavier Spade, and I think it's and is it Denny Garcia?
In a bar.
Alex Rangel. I think it was we're all in a bar in a bed together at the Murphy's Magic Party in Las Vegas having a cuddle. So you have some big cuddle shoes to fill, guys.
Wow.
Joshua Gaines says bathtub brown. What's the rating system for the cuddle? This is starting to go downhill again. This is going back into bathtubs and cuddles. I'm all for it. But I think we'll wind up. I appreciate you guys coming on. I know it's getting late. It's what, 9, 9:15, 20 past 9 now.
The 90s young, so am I.
Yeah. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming and hanging out. You've shown way more than I thought you were going to talk about with this deck, and I love it. It is incredible. So well done again. Rich, when I saw this come across my desk, I saw Easy Tones, and I saw it was a color deck, and then I saw your name attached to it. I was like, piggybacking off Craig now, it blew my mind. I was like, this is going to be epic. This is going to be amazing. Like, every run-in I've had with you, Rich, has been incredible mentalism, and it's gone above and beyond my expectations. That marking system is, it's the sheep's knees, as they call it in Wales. Everyone says, Alan says, have a colourful rest of your week, guys. Yes, everyone's just saying they're going to go check out more of this release. So thank you so much, guys.
Brilliant.
I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much, Bo, for having me on here.
No, my absolute pleasure. When Rich and I were chatting, we're like, do we want to bring Craig in? Do we not? And we're like, How quickly would Craig bring up bathtubs and take his shirt off? And I was like,
I did notice that I got the invite like this morning, and it was like, feel free to say no. It doesn't matter if you don't want to.
We did.
You
We
know?
actually had a separate live 20 minutes before this live.
I'm not surprised. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know.
love it.
That's
Well,
what it is.
he's just saying this to get brownie points now for the cuddle off, like, because he's like playing the sympathy card, which is the green color, I believe, in Easy Tones.
I've come here today. I'm announcing it right now. Blackpool 2026. Live on stage. Rich Relish, Craig Petty in a cuddle off.
It's on.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's on. Okay. All right. We're going to do that. We're going to have a cuddle off. We need to have a bed on stage. Hang on. Is it a bed or is it a couch or what? Hang on. I feel like this is. We'll figure it out.
We got 2
You
years.
can work
to
out
sort
the
it
rules, and we'll just go with whatever you say.
Okay, done. I'm all down for this. I'm all down for this. Murphy's Magic is sponsoring the event. I've already.
Right.
Yeah, we want a belt, like a wrestling belt, and then we defend it the next year.
Oh yeah, it's a picture of a bed or like some arms cuddling in.
I love that. I love that. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh god. All right, Austin, if you're watching, you've got an email coming right at you about some plans for building a belt and a bathtub in the warehouse. Jeez, it's a busy day at Murphy's headquarters today. But thanks again, guys.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. They're used to it. They're used to it. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. You enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks again for popping in. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolute legends. Everyone is saying, I can't say how much they can't wait for this. But you two guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Get some sleep, and thanks again for Easy Tones. Rich, you legend, and Craig, love your work. I'll talk to you all very soon.
See you soon, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Perfectly there so that you would stop at the exact location of the only card in that deck.
That's crazy.
Yo.
Really
impressive, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I never believed
I appreciate it.
So how do you do the trick?
I do it very well.
We're an animated group, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you gotta show them. Right now, I'm gonna leave it on right now. We'll put it right there. And do you want to go with number card or just one you last? Well, I can't read it. Yeah, we go this one. Here's the reach me, come on. Say that. Not your job to find those. Not my brother. Because here's what we'll do. I'm going to make every single card here. Hopefully, vanish. Okay, I'm going to do it right in front of you. Except your card. I'll do one better. I'll make the cards. I don't think I can. I'll make it part time. No big deal. Now, here's the thing. You could have named anything. I didn't name anything. And you did. But if you would have named any other card, this trick would not have worked. Not because, obviously, the card didn't turn over, but because that's the only card that's from another deck. What? Flip it over. Flip it over. No way. Now, here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to try to make the whole deck vanish. The whole deck? Where do you play it? Take a look. If you wouldn't have made that card, this would not happen. Because there are no cards. What? Like that one. Oh, yeah. Let's go. You saw it? That's it. Are you gonna have these cards? I can have them. I don't have one, right? Can you name any card? Don't name a name. Everybody names a name. But any playing card. Name any card. Go. You keep the cards. What 10? 10 of what? 10 of what? No. What's your card? No. You gotta pick a card. 10 of cards. Is there a reason why you choose 10 of cards? 10. But 10 of what? 10 of spades and a king. Whatever. 10 of hearts. 10 of hearts. You could have named absolutely any card whatsoever. Check this out. Look, inside my hand here, there's one card. Wow.
Would you be impressed if I could find the 4 aces from a shuffled deck in less than 60 seconds? Would you be impressed if I could do that?
Mostly.
You shouldn't be. I practice that all the time. I really do. I practice that all of the time. So I think it'll be much more of a challenge to find four cards that you guys pick in a moment. I couldn't possibly know what cards you're going to pick, therefore I couldn't possibly practice, right?
Yeah.
Reach in there, take any card that you want.
Okay.
And it was William, right? Reach in there, take any one that you want. Don't let me see it. That's important. Any card that you want. Kyle, right? Take any card that you want. And then Chris. Any card that you want. Look at those cards, remember them. I'll look away. I want you to look at those cards, remember them. Show them to the camera if you could. Make sure that you get a chance to see those cards, and I'll show them to the camera one at a time too, so that there's no confusion. Greg, can I have your card back first?
Yes.
Burn that card into your memory. That's so important. William, same thing. Remember that card. Kyle, burn this card into your memory. There's a monitor over there, so I'll look away. It would be a great way to cheat, but I won't this time. Remember your card. That's very important.
Not that you're above it.
4 cards back into 4 different spots in the deck. You can see they go into 4 different places. I'll try to find those 4 cards in 60 seconds from a shuffled deck of cards. And Greg, can you verify for the people at home that that is a thorough mix of the cards?
Looks very thorough to me.
Of course. 4 cards in 60 seconds. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'll even throw in the aces for free. 8 cards in 60 seconds. And if I can't do that, I'm going to give you $100. I'll even shake on it. Yeah. He seems to think that the shake matters. It doesn't matter. No, it's just Greg. Here we go. Check this out. I'll start the watch, and when it gets to 55 seconds, I want you to count down. I want you to say 5, 4, 3 when it gets to the time, all right?
Okay.
Here we go. 8 cards in 60 seconds. The 4 cards you picked plus the aces. First card to make it more of a challenge. Give the cards a real quick kick, and I'm going to try to find, actually, I don't know whose card this is going to be. Whose card was this? Was this anybody's card?
That's my card.
Of course. Now let's try this. To make the next one more of a challenge, why don't we try this? Last time I didn't know whose card I was going to find, but this time, William, I'll try to find your card specifically. Was your card the 2 of diamonds? Was that your card? Of course it was. To make the next one more of a challenge, Kyle, I'm going to try to tell you what your card was before I cut to it.